what's up, everyone? So we're going to get back on the car. We're going to get the windshield out, and then hopefully we'll get the 10-point cage. I'm going to start tacking in the main hoop and the upper hoop, and then hopefully we'll get the down tubes done today, and then maybe start thinking about the front tubes. Not too worried about the back tubes because I know where all that's got to go, so I don't have to figure that out. The front stuff, I got to drill some hole saw, got to do some hole saw into the car to get the tubes through and stuff, so I really want to work on that. And we'll also talk a little bit about the must junk. So this is a car me and a friend have built, and ultimate goal for it is to take it to the track, have a little bit of fun with it, and then sell it. Kind of always wanted a coupe, but I'm kind of too attached to the Falcon, so this is a pretty cool little car. I'll give you a rundown on it in another video. So we're going to get this windshield put out of the car. So I got all the trim removed, which came off pretty easy, so hopefully that's a good sign that the windshield will come off. I am getting a bunch of trash in the car from just being outside under the oak tree. It looks like I got some ants moving in, so that's good. I'm going to start charging them rent so they don't help me work on the car. And but we'll get this windshield out, and then we'll get back on this roll bar, and hopefully that goes well. Alright, so out here working on getting the windshield out. Never really took a windshield out before, but all I'm doing is I've got all the trim off on the outside, and I'm just cutting the gasket and then peeling it so you can see how it's got all the oak tree stuff from the shade tree. So still got to cut this side and then the top, and then we'll try to push this thing out, and got to go find a home for it in the garage too, and find my tarp so I can get this car covered up once the windshield's out. Alright, so got the windshield out. So full disclosure, I had the windshield replaced like a few years ago, so mine wasn't nearly as bad to come out as if it had been in there for 40 years. So but we got it out, so gotta pull the dash pad. I don't even know what it is. It's just always been covered in vinyl since I got the car. I don't know if that's the way they are from the factory or not, but I'm gonna have to pull this stuff back and then figure out where to drill the hole in the dash, and got to get that figured out and make sure it can come all the way through and not hit the windshield, and a whole bunch of figuring, which I think is going to get hard. But before I get bogged down with that stuff, I'm just going to get the main hoop tacked in and figure out how to do the roof hoop up top, maybe get some straps out and hold it up so I can kind of eyeball where this down bar needs to go, and then we'll think about it a little bit, and then we'll drill some holes in the dash. Alright, so we just made a Harbor Freight run. Got me some Harbor Freight wire. I haven't used it. I always usually buy the Lincoln or the Miller wire, so we'll see if this is any good. And then my ground is still messed up on my welder, so I got a new ground clamp. And for anybody else with a rusty car, they got their little flap disc on sale for $1.99. So if you got a rusty car like me, needs lots of grinding, now's the time to stock up. Alright, let's get back at this. Alright, we got more welding wire on the welder over there. It seems to be welding okay. I tacked in this plate. No concerns with the wire. So I'm gonna go get my tape measure because I want to make sure I get this the same distance on each side, and then I'll get it leaned back to where I want it, and we'll weld it. We'll get this bar tacked in, and then I'll go find probably just a toe strap, and we'll run it around the roof. We'll run it over and across and ratchet strap up that one, the roof hoop, and then hopefully get that tacked in, and then we can start. Probably have to do a little bit of thinking on how we're going to drill holes in the dash and get those tubes where I want them. And we'll probably end up having to cut these out. These are the leftovers from the 8-point, so we'll probably get those cut out. Hopefully I can still use the same floor plates. That would be sweet. That would save me a lot of work if we can. Yeah, so the heat index today is supposed to be like 106, so we're going to keep at this today until probably around 2 or 3 o'clock. I run out of shade tree, just the way the sun is around here, so probably have to call it, and we'll see. I'm going to try to keep drinking water, but if it gets too hot, I'm getting old. I can't handle the heat no more, so we'll see. But hopefully I'll get the down tubes at least figured out, so we'll keep at it. Alright, so got one side of the main hoop tacked in, so you can see how I've got it laid back, so that way when you close the door it'll kind of disappear mostly, and that's what I'm after. So I got my angle, so I'm gonna make sure that this angle is the same as the other angle, and then I'll get that bottom side tacked in. And so it's 85/40, so let's go see what the other side is. So this is the driver's side, which you can see it's 85/70, so that's only 0.3 degrees, so I'm happy with that. I am gonna, looks like this bar might be sticking out a little more, so I'm gonna do a little more measuring before I tack it in, just to make sure I'm perfectly happy with it, and then we'll go from there. And last thing, make sure the bar is level, which you can see it's perfectly zero, so that's cool. That means I've got the bar perfectly level with the rest of the car, so that's good. And I got this repositioned where I'm happy with it, so both sides pretty much match now. So we're gonna go ahead and tack in the bottom. Alright, so the main hoop's all tacked in, looking good. It's level, my level shut off, but it is level. Next thing we're gonna do is get the roof hoop, which I've already notched it in the last video. And my plan is I've got some straps that'll support it up there, and then hopefully I can figure out how it's going to hold it and get it tacked there. And my goal is to try to get it tacked and held in place, and then that way I can use it to figure out these down bars, since I've got the windshield out now, because really nervous about, you know, drilling in the dash in the proper spot. Don't know, never drilled a hole in my dash or anything, so we'll figure it out. But that's my plan. We'll see if it works. If you have better ways of doing stuff by yourself, let me know. Cause alright, so I went and fetched another, let me turn off this welder. I went and got another strap, so that way I could strap that. It's hard to see, but you know, I can run a strap from the bar to the bar and then just pull it tight, so I can check, make sure my notching's okay, which I need to work on a little bit on this side. And then my idea is working, but it's kind of, my strap is sagging, so I got a scrap piece just to space it up, but I need something on the other side too, and gotta figure that out. So we're gonna keep at it and probably pull it back down and have to do some grinding to get the fitment a little bit better on this side. And also gotta figure out how to make sure I get it centered, because I think it's cattywampus right now, and we don't want cattywampus. Alright, so I got the roof hoop in where I want it, which you can see, you can barely see it up in there, and that's what I kind of want. It's level across, and it's close enough for me. I mean, I think it should be good. And then I'm trying to decide where to go through the dash. And my plan is, when I do my front bars, I would like to kind of keep them up so they can kind of replace the fender apron for the fenders. That way it'd be easy to mount the fenders. And then I can just tie into this bar, right? So I'd like to kind of line these up with air. So that means I would need, maybe drill my hole right there. Right? Drill my hole right there. That way this one will be able to go through the dash and tie into that one, is the hope. So I think I'm gonna peel back the dash covering here, and then we'll do that, and then we'll see about getting a hole saw and cutting a hole in the dash. So we'll see. Big time decision coming up on the hole here. Alright, so I've spent about an hour thinking about this. So I'm pretty sure if I can get this bar and I can lean it back a little, it should be able to fit right there and follow the line and be able to clear the windshield. So what dang, sorry about that. My plan is to drill a hole there, right here, kind of centered on this seam. And we'll drill a 3.5-inch hole there, and then that should give me enough wiggle room to do some finagling around it, and then I'll do the same thing on the other side. And we'll go try this side first, make sure I'm not thinking incorrect, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so got a hole drilled, so let's see if the bar will fit right. Alright, so the tube's in, still needs to be trimmed a little bit, but it's hitting the bottom of the dash right here, so I think I'm going to notch this out with a hole saw. I'll put it like right in the edge and just kind of half moon that, and that way I should have a little more room to do what I want to do, and then hopefully I can finagle. I'd like to try to get this thing in here before I'd like to try to get it in there before I cut any length off of it, just to make sure, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. But this looks about right, you know, because it's got to go a little shorter, so it'll be able to, this looks about right. It needs to go a little bit shorter, so I'll be able to clear the windshield. And we'll get this tacked in, and then we'll probably bring the windshield out and set it on there just to make sure it fits. But yeah, so far so good. We'll see. So we made some good progress this weekend, but the weather turned sour, so we're going to stop and hopefully pick up when the weather's nice. We'll start up this video, and hopefully we'll get these front tubes installed then, but we'll keep at it.